You're listening to the audio production of Leading Through Disruption, a Changemaker's Guide to 21st Century Leadership by Andrew Liveris, published by HarperCollins Leadership and read by the author.
Introduction. The 21st century is complex and blindsiding in ways no one could have predicted or prepared for even 2 decades ago. To be sure, global volatility goes back to the Dutch tulip crisis of 1637, when a single flower ended up being worth twice the amount of a Rembrandt, and earlier, if you like, to the Greek and Roman empires. But as the economist Milton Friedman said, the one thing about history is we don't learn from history. In the early 2000s, an acronym surfaced to describe the instability of this century. VUCA, short for volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. Think the internet bubble collapse of 2000, 9/11, the global financial crisis, the COVID pandemic in early 2020, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine in early 2022. No country or company was equipped for any of these events. COVID especially offered a discouraging education around the failures of modern-day leadership. None of these first-time crises were easy to catalogue, nor were they in any business school manual. How many other upheavals are waiting for us in the decades ahead? Since VUCA appeared, the rate and pace of change has become even more feverish. In 2020 alone, the world experienced the worst public health threat since the 1918 Spanish flu. The global economy saw its sharpest downturn in decades, and the U.S. witnessed the largest social disruption since the 1960s, triggered by the racially charged murder of George Floyd. Zoom became a verb, telehealth a new medical norm, QR codes ubiquitous. The travel industry imploded. China saber-rattled. Disinformation collided with facts. Capitol Hill was assailed by a mob. This isn't to say that many business and leadership lessons or skills from the 20th century aren't relevant. They are. But the business landscape today is so foreign from that of 2 decades ago that figuring out how to deploy those lessons and skills needs to be reimagined and retaught. Business leaders lack a toolbox for this century, one that details the context and the issues that CEOs and enterprises need to focus on to create an impact from their place in time today. How can you make your business work today for tomorrow and not yesterday or the day before? How can you engineer your company and country to be both resilient and agile, to better arm yourself against VUCA?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?